Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Port Washington Public Library YouTube channel's show, Hoopla Diaries. And on Hoopla Diaries, members of the Port Washington Public Library staff will talk about some of the cool and fun and exciting things that we're finding on Hoopla. Hoopla, for those of you who are not familiar with it, Hoopla Digital is one of the many great streaming services available through the Port Washington Library, also available through the libraries in Nassau County and all over the country. And it's a great service with a lot of things available. And I've been having fun kind of finding interesting ways to do searches. And recently I came upon the idea, which I probably should have noticed a long time ago. When I browse music, when I bring up Hoopla Digital, I select to browse music. To my left, it has a way to do a drop-down menu and select things by release date. So I ventured to just check release date, last 30 days. Now, I'm someone who prides myself on being sort of up on new releases by artists that I like and in genres that I like, but you can't keep up with everything. And even looking on other services like Spotify, I didn't catch some of the things that came up right away in Spotify. For instance, I'm a big fan of Mandy Barnett. Love Mandy Barnett's voice, and I've had the pleasure of seeing her live. And she had a brand new album that came out as of this recording on August 25th, 2020. Her record, A Nashville Songbook, and wonderful stuff. Also, Robbie Krieger, the guitar player of The Doors, and his longtime musical cohort, Arthur Barrow, have put out an album called The Ritual Begins at Sundown. Absolutely fascinating stuff, especially if you like Robbie as a guitar player. There's some really beautiful melodic playing. There's some just wonderful jazzy playing, just great music. Also, in the country vein as well, which Mandy Barnett is kind of country swing, Mac McAnally, who for many years was a cohort of Jimmy Buffett's, a Jimmy Buffett guitar player and compatriot. But Mac McAnally put out a new album as well, something called Once in a Lifetime. Now, also, I am someone who prides myself on having an extensive collection of music from the 60s and music from the 70s. But if you dig into Hoopla Digital, you may find some interesting things. And I just clicked on categories with music, and I was blown away by how many categories there were. To a degree, it's a bit overwhelming, but kind of fun to click on something like music from the 70s. And on the first page, I hit on a record that I probably haven't heard in many, many, many years, which is Glenn Campbell's Rhinestone Cowboy album. I remember the single from when I was young. I remember hearing the album a couple of times. And what a great, great record. And again, finding it by just clicking through the categories and doing a unique search on Hoopla Digital. Movies. I clicked on movies and went through some of the categories there, and I landed on music for music-related movies. And there I found a documentary that I knew had come out on Harry Belafonte, legendary singer, civil rights activist, and called Sing Your Song. A great, great watch. Also, a strange independent documentary called Freak Jazz Movie Madness and Another Mothers, a documentary about Frank Zappa's Mothers of Invention. Finally, and the last thing that I'll really talk about is a couple of years back, my wife and I had the pleasure of going to see a program called Rocktopia, and went into the city, caught it on Broadway, and it was just a really, really cool, unique meld of classical music and rock and roll. Of course, relying heavily on, artists like Queen and Meatloaf and the Beatles and artists that lend themselves to that kind of thing because they have, an orchestral feel or a dramatic feel or strings or horns, in the original recordings. And I did not know that there had been a PBS special called Rocktopia: A Classical Revolution live from Budapest. So I got to check out some of that, some of that show again that we had enjoyed so much. And uh, boy, I forgot about TV. I went into television also and looked at the categories, and there was some really great stuff in there. There was TV classics, and within that, I hit on the old TV show Mothers-in-Law from the '60s, which was a real, I don't know, generation gap type show. And it starred Eve Arden, and I'm forgetting the name of the other woman that is the star, but they were Kay Ballard. That's it. But they were just brilliant, brilliant comedians. And again, the show is kind of about the generation gap and about newly married couple and dealing with in-laws. Very funny stuff. Little dated, but very funny. And I clicked on the comedy um, section within TV, comedy category. And I did not know that a stand up comedian that my wife and I are very fond of, Gabriel Iglesias, has a show called Gabriel Iglesias Presents Stand Up Revolution. Who knew? And I was able to find that on Hoopla Digital and can enjoy episodes of Gabriel Iglesias and Friends. So, we've got TV. Yeah, I think we've gotten it all taken care of. Audio books and things like that, and ebooks for another time. But that's my Hoopla Diaries report for this week. I'm Tony Traguardo, and hope you will use your library card, go create an account, and enjoy some of the cool things being offered on Hoopla Digital. And visit the Port Washington Public Library YouTube page for other interesting programs. See you soon.